Hello, hello.
Hello.
We're here from separate parts of the world, joining you for today's live at lunch. I'm Gina. I'm one of the proud co-founders of Style Dots, and this is Claire. I need to do it this way. This is Claire because you're opposite of. This is Claire, like pointing. This is Claire, and Claire is our designer, and she is joining us from England, where it's a little bit darker. Like I've got sunshine coming in my window and it's nighttime for you. So thank you, Claire, for joining us for today's live at lunch.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we've got some fun, a fun new product for you tonight or today. I guess it's because I was just talking about it being nighttime. Today, it's been a big day already. We were originally going to release 2 items, and one of them didn't come in because, right now, they're in Indianapolis somewhere. There's 5 out of 16 boxes in that shipment, Claire, that we're still trying to get them moved through. I may just be driving to Indianapolis and picking something up and just I'll go find those boxes. But anyway, I am excited about our new release that we have here for tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Claire so that she can tell you a little bit about that. And then we have a lot of different ways to style this item. So we definitely are going to leave some time to show you guys all the cool things that you can do with this new product that Claire's come up with. So take it away, Claire.
Okay, so probably one of our most popular lines at the moment is our Interlinks line, and we wanted to sort of bring additional elements into this line so that it was even more customizable and more interchangeable. And interchangeable jewelry is still so on trend at the moment, and it has been for a long, long time. And sort of bigger designer sterling silver brands like Pandora, and there's one called Thomas Sabu and Tiffany's, all have sort of charm related bracelets, but they have a price point to match that as well. So we feel that our Interlinks bracelet and the whole sort of collection and elements give you that designer look, but a far more affordable price point. So we already sort of have our Interlink starter bracelet, and we just wanted to add another element to that.
Yeah, it's been so fun building these things out, Claire. I think everybody's having a ton of fun with the Interlinks bracelet.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, when I was sort of looking at it today and how this new product, which we will tell you about in a minute, sort of how it would work with the Interlinks, but actually with other pieces in our collections and everything, it was really fun to think, I was flicking through the catalogue thinking, it will work with this and that. So, there's a lot of possibilities, and you'll see in a little bit how sort of that works and how it fits together with other combinations. But the whole concept of sort of interchangeable jewelry and customizable jewelry is about being able to build your own look and having that combination of elements, and particularly with us, adding dots and accents and our pattern links. But now we wanted to introduce our new item, new exclusive for this lunchtime, which is the Faceted Bead Connector. So you can see now a little video of it. So basically this is a crystal bead. It has lots of facets in it and 2 rings either end. And by utilizing those rings and the triggerless clasps, you're able to then attach this piece onto the bracelet and other pieces within our collection. It has an AB finish to it, so it has that sort of lovely look and twinkle to it. So initially, we decided to sort of the first design and style that you can wear this with is the starter Interlinks bracelet, which you can attach with the triggerless clasp.
Yeah. So Brandon, before you show that graphic, I want to put it on Dot Vision and just let you guys see how gorgeous this bead is on its right, just so that you guys can see it with the lighting and on Dot Vision. So it really does have so many different facets to it. And it's 18 millimeters, Claire, you said, which is
that's correct.
3/4 of an inch just in diameter to give you an idea of kind of the thickness of it too. So absolutely gorgeous. But Brandon, take it away and let's show them all the different ways that they can wear this new connector. And thank you. Amy Miller was like, like I'm seeing the oohs and the ahs and all the hearts coming by. So thank you. We're excited that you guys are excited about it. Go ahead, Claire.
So as you can see, sort of for the first example of how this would work, the Faceted Bead Connector is just attached to our Starter Link bracelet. But I actually think this gives a really bold, sort of elegant statement, really striking. And it has that sort of elegant simplicity. So, you know, sort of the simpler sometimes gives that more bold effect and gives a really sort of maximum impact within a piece of jewelry. So I think just that on its own works really well. But as you know, with our Interlinks bracelet, and that's what's special about it, is that you can keep on adding. Mm-hmm. So what I sort of worked on is just to give you a little hint of colour with the Triggerless Clasp on one side to add some of our birthstone accents. So I picked out a combination of the sapphire, the teal zircon and the pearlized. Yeah. And because the pearlized birthstone has that AB finish, it picks up that finish that's on the faceted bead as well. So you have a real sort of twinkle there, and those pops of colour, I think, work perfectly.
Yeah. So Lisa's asking a question, Claire. How does it clip on? So will you kind of go through the triggerless, because it clips on just like any of our connectors, whether it's one of the statement or original or square settings, or we have some other connectors that just, you're taking advantage of those triggerless clasps.
Yeah, so as you can see, our triggerless clasp, it's the standard oval triggerless clasp that comes with the starter bracelet. And you can just see from that visual, it just is sprung. So part of that oval shape is sprung. So you can just push that and the beaded connector will slide onto the clasp on both sides. So because the beaded faceted connector has the loops on either end, you need the clasp to be able to attach it to the bracelet. But then on that same triggerless clasp, you attach your birthstone accents or whatever else you want to hook onto it. And that's the beauty about it, because it's so interchangeable and versatile that you can add anything you like, really. And sort of you'll see as we go along, there are sort of more combinations that you can add.
What I found is that whenever you're adding a connector like that, you take out, so you're going to take out 2 closed rings so that you've got triggerless clasps on either end of the connector to connect to. But that connector is adding the length that you're basically losing by taking out those 2 closed rings. That's all being added back in, back into the bracelet. So it allows you to honestly really do so many different, I mean, I think we've got 10 looks for you, but I think Claire and I were laughing because I think that we could probably come up with another 10 if we wanted to, and I'm sure that you all will, but I'll let you keep on.
I ran out when I was sort of looking at the graphics and working them out. I ran out of time actually to do any more, and I was just, well, you could do this and that and everything. But what I wanted to do and narrow it down so it sort of showed you the concept of how this would work. But I think the beauty about this whole concept is that with the Interlinks bracelet, it can fit anybody, because you can add and take away elements to it. So it works perfectly and fits any wrist size.
Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt. So we're just using the same triggerless clasp. Every third link in the Interlinks starter bracelet is a triggerless clasp. So we're just using the triggerless clasps that come with the bracelet. You know, we're not necessarily adding, although some people may want to just add a clasp if they need a little bit more length. But for the most part, Claire, we're just, like they're saying, other than the accents that we've added, this is just adding it to an actual starter bracelet.
Exactly that, yes.
Yeah.
So for our next look, again, you see it's so versatile, and so to add that bit more detail, what I did this time was to add our original setting. So this attaches to the other side of where the birthstone accents are. So you just need to make sure that you have 2 of the Triggerless clasps either side of the faceted bead connector, and then another one that attaches the bracelet to the other side of the original setting. And how this works really well, because what I like about that, I'm sort of more asymmetry, you know, I don't like the sort of being totally matching either side. So what I like about this is that I've chosen the teal zircon couture, which is just such a stunning color, but it picks up from the other side of the bracelet the teal zircon accent as well. So you sort of draw that color across, and I think that combination works really, really well.
Yeah. So one of the things that I want to point out is, so you see how we've gone from Triggerless Clasp to the original setting connector, another Triggerless Clasp, and then this new faceted bead connector. We're just basically, like I showed before, we're taking out a couple of closed links, and just so that we can go from Triggerless Clasp to Triggerless Clasp, and we're just adding the settings in between there to really customize this bracelet to look the way that we want it to look. So again, the look that you're seeing now, you've got the 3 accents that you're seeing. We've added that faceted bead connector, and we've added an original setting, but otherwise it's still just the same starter bracelet that we're just adding different elements to it now. So I will work on, you should be able to see. So that's the graphic that you're seeing now is an original dot and the faceted bead connector. So an original dot is about 12 millimeters and the faceted bead connector is 18. So it's about 1.5 times bigger than an original dot. So thanks for that. Thank you for that question. But that kind of gives you an idea of scale.
On that size, the original setting, the actual outside dimension of that setting, to give you the actual dimension, is 15.1 millimeters. So that gives you an idea. And then so that the diameter of the bead is 18. So actually those difference, there's only sort of 3 millimeters difference between the dimensions. But I think with the bead, because it's faceted and 3-dimensional, sort of being round, it has sort of that scale. So it gives you that real impact in style on that bracelet. So I think it's a sort of attractive piece. And just the combination works so well, I think, sort of linking those colors together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm assuming that that's you, Claire, because this is what happens. We get on live and then everybody starts to talk to us and send us messages like, oh, talk about this. So it's always fun. So let me, so here's another one. Again, it's going to give you scale. So you've got the original setting, Claire, and then you've added that faceted bead connector and you're showing a square setting.
Yes. So what I wanted to do here, again, it's that reflecting sort of style and color, but not being matchy. So we've gone for sort of the original setting one side and our square setting the other. And the dots I've chosen are the faceted bloom in the original and the square, but it isn't totally sort of coordinated and exactly the same, but you've got that sort of difference going through of size. And then also the pearlized accent there just picks up the AB finish of the faceted bead. So that you get a nice flow, and I think it works really well. And having that combination of pops of color either side of the faceted bead.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would show you, I would hold up both and show them to you, but in all honesty, the graphics that we've got are going to give you a better idea. And I don't have like dots just sitting here on, I would get easily distracted if I had dots surrounding me all the time. So I don't have any dots sitting here other than like the statement that I'm wearing, but this does give you a really good idea of the scale. I think that that's so important. And I'll show you it again up close here at the end, but thank you, Kimberly. She said, I'm so glad you showed these ideas because I'm not that creative. Here's the fun thing is that I have a tendency to be more matchy. So when you see the designs that are really what's the word? Symmetric, I guess is the thing. So you've got something in the center and then you've got things on it. That's Gina's ideas. And then Claire thinks outside of the box. She isn't confined by feeling like she needs to be matchy. So she comes out with all of these other cool ideas that, in all honesty, I probably wouldn't have thought of and absolutely love them. So here's our next option. And I love, again, Claire, that we're just adding to and giving so many different layers and textures within one bracelet that's totally custom. Like you can build it out to be whatever you want it to be. So I love what you've done here. I'll let you kind of explain further how you've added texture and scale and everything to this piece.
So I really like this one. It's very sort of trendy and fashionable, and it has that sort of eclectic mix of, kind of like you were saying, of materials. So what I've used here, again, you've got your faceted bead connector. I've used our indigo satin tassel hanging off the Triggerless Clasp, but then complemented that with the sapphire accents. And then the original setting, and that's got the navy concentric original dot set in there. But it is very asymmetric, but I just think it's got that really on-trend feel to it, fashionable. But I think it also has that chicness as well. I think it looks like it could have come out of a sort of high-end boutique, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes an interesting bracelet as well.
Yep. Thanks, Stacey. Yep, Claire's eclectic. She's our eclectic. Yeah, I love this because if it were me, I would totally take this and then I would get those navy tassels and wear the tassels on my earrings so that I'm kind of taking what some of the elements that you're seeing on my wrist, and now it's tying into my earrings and all of that. So that's one of the things that I would probably do is kind of, build a bridge so that you're seeing similar things from wrist to ears or whatever. So
yeah, and I think it's nice that you can actually link what you're wearing with your wristwear. You can then sort of have that element somewhere else, but maybe not totally matching as well. You've just picked an element, like with the hoop earrings, you could take off plastic hoop earrings, take off the recessed setting, but just have that tassel and the accent hanging off them. And I think that's sort of just a hint to what you're wearing on your wrist as well. So it works perfectly.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so now we've got two of the faceted connectors on either side of a statement setting. So it, again, is giving you those pops of shimmer that are coming off of that faceted bead. But for those that like things more symmetric, this is a symmetric option.
So I have to, with this combination, so I worked on the sort of options that I had this morning and sort of came up with these 10 ideas, and then I spoke to Gina and she said, well, have you done this one which you're seeing now? And I said, no, I haven't. So this is a Gina creation, and I think it works really well actually, Gina, and I like that it's a bold statement because I think that works well with the faceted beads either side as well, so you get that really impressive, striking look.
Yeah. And I think that some people wear, because it's a charm bracelet, the Interlink bracelet is a charm bracelet, they wear it a little bit looser. So it's going to kind of spin and, you know what I mean? They're not wearing it tight on their wrist. And so the nice thing that I like about this is if it does spin a little bit either side, it's looking good, not just like on the top of your wrist, but the sides of your wrist, like the whole thing looks good. So yeah, thank you for putting this one together for me. For those that feel like they have to be symmetrical and things, and they're matchy. Thanks for throwing out a matchy option for me. Okay, so now, Claire, we're talking about using them not even on the bracelet, but now we're looking at actually using this as an element on necklaces.
Yeah, so I felt that, it's lovely and it works really well on the bracelet. But as I said before, I think it works really well on some of our other pieces. So I've taken the infinity drop necklace, a single triggerless clasp that's hooked onto one of the plain oval loops of the infinity necklace. And then I've added the faceted bead connector, our ebony satin tassel, and then again the pearlized accent, because the pearlized accent really then picks up the finish on the faceted bead. And then also on the other end of the faceted connector is our bling necklace drop. And then to pull in that black ebony colour of the tassel, I've used our Onyx Couture set into the bling drop necklace fitting.
Yeah.
So I think that whole combination works really well, and it will sit up high. So because the infinity drop necklace is a short version, and then you'll have all this tassel of eclectic bits and pieces hanging down the necklace. So I think it makes it look so interesting because there's all these elements going on. Again, that's sort of a real fashionable look, but I think it has that chicness as well. And sort of the tonality of sort of linking your dot with the tassel, but then having all that silver finish there as well. I think it's a really sharp look.
Yeah, and this is so much on trend to have necklaces and stuff where you've got, I would say, a longer drop coming off the actual chain, where there's unique things, either multiple things, hanging off of the chain, or there's a long center kind of real emphasis point coming off of it. And I think you've totally tapped into that. And you've shown, this is the other thing that I love that you've shown. So you're attaching on one side of that a triggerless clasp, and then on the other side, you're bringing in one of our drops. So yeah, you could also do something like this and have like a statement drop hanging off of it. Like any of our drops work on, the ends of those connector pieces. So it gives you so much to kind of play around with. And shout out to Karen. Karen's like, we don't do boring jewelry around here. No, we do not. So we love all the different options that you can do with this. So let's see your next one.
Okay, so the next one. So I wanted to tap into another trend that's been going on for quite a while, and that's the two-tone metal trend, still around. And I think with this, it works really well. Taking the starter link bracelet again with the faceted bead connector in the middle. I have then added the original setting with our gold Firenze dot to one side, and then reflecting that on the other side, we have the Firenze charm, because of course we do sort of 3 charms that link in with our other collections that we do. And then to bring out the gold elements is the gold tassel. So that hangs next to the charm. And then a pop of that sort of gold colour using the topaz birthstone accent to sit next to the original setting. So it's not sort of full on sort of gold there, but you're just getting those hints and those elements of the gold colour. So I think this looks really stylish and sophisticated, and works really well. And I think it's a term, I don't know, we used to use it in sort of the fashion industry, getting some zhuzh into your jewellery, so some zhuzh movement. And I think this works really well because you've got sort of the movement of the tassel and the charm one side, and then your little birthstone accent on the other. So I think it's a real sort of statement piece. I love it.
And I think that you could totally take that gold tassel and and that Firenze charm, and add those to a hoop earring to tie in what you're wearing on your ears to what's on your bracelet. And Claire, I have to tell you that I don't think if I said zhuzh, I don't feel like it sounds nearly as awesome as when you, there's just some words that Claire, it's easier for Claire to get away with. It just sounds better rolling off of her tongue than, Gina from the Ozarks. So, yeah. And Tracy says she loves the mixed metal looks. Firenze is one of her favorites. So thank you, Tracy. We're excited you love this combination. Okay, I think we've got another one. Look at all the creativity here.
So using most of the elements that were in the previous bracelet, I sort of thought, okay, well, if you had all of those elements, but then wanted to add to it and create a neckwear that would complement that piece, I decided to sort of see how I could work that in. So I've used the Firenze drop, the Firenze disc drop necklace, which has those gold elements in it. Mm-hmm. Again, a single triggerless clasp, added all of those elements to that. So you have the bead connector, the Firenze charm, the gold tassel, and your accent to that. And then hanging off the bottom is our Firenze drop necklace and the Firenze gold dot. So again, you've got that whole combination. You've got that mixed metal layered trend look going up your necklace. And this is a longer line. So the Firenze disc necklace is a longer necklace. So then you will get the longer tassel down. So for all our ladies that like that longer look, that this is the one for you. So again, it's that mix of combinations, of textures, of design. I just love it, and it makes a really attractive piece.
Yeah, I think that it's an awesome. I love the way that, like today we've shown, here's this one little piece. You may think, oh, it's just a faceted bead connector, right? Okay, but we've shown like you've got 10 different options and bringing in all honesty, how to add it to not just the bracelets, but necklaces, how to then tie those looks into an earring. And so, it's for those that want to do a little bit more, that are a little bit extra. And, you want, you don't want to just like pick something straight off of a catalog page. That's the thing that we love about this Interlinks line and our drops line, is that you honestly, there's so many different ways that you can really customize your jewelry. And that's a big thing here at Style Dots. It's not just about the customization that can happen with dots, but we want to bring you other ways that you can really have jewelry that feels customizable to you, and you know what I mean, is a little bit as unique as you are, as each of you are. So I love,
sorry, Gina. What I like about it as well is that you're bringing in sort of lots of elements of all of our lines. So you're bringing in the interlinks, you're bringing in the dots, our foundation pieces, and actually you can combine them all together to create this sort of really on-trend look. I think sort of that whole, and it's personal because it's up to you what you put on there. So I think that versatility of all of our product works really well.
Yeah. And Amy says, I can't wait to get these and create my look. We can't wait to see all the different, because we've come up with like 10 ideas or whatever, but I'm super excited to see like all the different ways that you guys are going to use this. So this is actually an exclusive. It's a special exclusive. But if it ends up being really popular, then it may be something that we decide to add to a catalog later. But this is it's a special exclusive for the week. So these will be available while supplies last. I do think we've got one more look to show you.
And so the final look, if pearls are your go-to style, then this is the piece for you. So I have taken our pearl style stacks, the short version, the short necklace. And of course, this already has this most amazing glitzy bling clasp to it. So you've already got that wonderful impact, the dazzling sort of crystal set into that clasp. But then again, I've added the silver tassels, the faceted bead connector, our pearlized accent, and then added the triggerless clasp to the other side of the faceted bead connector. And then our original charm, and then snapped in the white, is it the gleam?
Yeah, glimmer.
Glimmer into that. So again, I think this piece flows so well, because if you sort of take the elements from the pearl style stacks, you've got the AB finish on those faceted crystals.
Yeah.
Then flows to the pearlized accent and onto the faceted bead, and then the crystals are also AB finished. So you've got that lovely flow going through that. I just think and the white enamel then picks up the pearl. It just works so well, and I think for the summer this will be amazing. If you can get out to go to weddings and things like that, or summer parties, I think this is the piece to wear. I think it just looks really chic and sophisticated. And I think, again, those elements, you can pick up those elements and work them in with our other pieces, maybe the classic oval hoop earrings. you could just take the same dots and snap those in and maybe have the tassels hanging behind. So there's just so many combinations you can work with this.
I love it. So this is the funny thing about this is I had this necklace that I bought a long time ago before I had a jewelry company. And I was like, Claire, I love this piece and I love this chunky kind of faceted bead that it was only on one side of this like a thick chain necklace like this, but just on one side. And I was like, it would be so fun to have that as a connector. And sure enough, Claire takes these little ideas that are in my head and she makes them come to life. And so it's always so fun to see how you're able to do that. So I'm excited that you all are as excited as we are about this item. Again, it's $12.95. The overall length is 1.5 inches with 3/4 of an inch being the actual diameter of that faceted bead. So it's not a flat bead. It's a nice, big, chunky, round bead. And it honestly, I mean, it's who needs the glittery ball in Times Square to drop when you've got this to drop off of your necklace or on your bracelet. So we really do. It's just another way that I feel like we're blinging in the new year, Claire. Right?
Definitely. Yeah.
So we are very excited about it. I'm going to turn it on. You can find it under exclusives on style at style.home.com or on your boutique partner's website. If you go under shop and then exclusives, you will see this. So we'll have it there. And again, it's an exclusive, so it's available while supplies last. But please be sure to tag us when you're sharing, when you get it in the different ways that you're designing it, because we would love to see all of your creativity also. So
definitely. It's always great to see how sort of other people see it and wear it and use it, and that combination of elements that they pick up. And we always think that we've thought of everything and how all the possibilities, how something can be used. And no, that you always come up with new ideas and new ways to style things. So it's brilliant for us to see that, because also seeing that then sparks other ideas for new products. So we love to see how you are wearing it.
Yep. So it is turned on. So feel free to go and shop now. And thank you again for giving us a few minutes out of your lunch hour today, and for joining us for Live at Lunch. And be sure to mark on your calendars. I will be back with you next Tuesday night for Style Dots Live at 8:00 Eastern. And then we've got Product Palooza coming up. So here's the thing. At Product Palooza, it's going to be like this on steroids, where we're not just talking about one product. We're talking about, I think, over 100 products. We have over 100 SKUs in the new catalog. And so we're going to be talking about all of that, and we don't want you to miss out on it. So the other thing that you can do is under the shop tab, there's an events tab, and you can register for Product Palooza. It's only $10, and you'll get a $10 jewelry credit back in February to shop from anything in the new catalog. But here's the thing. There's like $2,300, I think, worth of giveaways that we're doing. Plus, you're going to have access to the raffle, and the raffle is raffling off another $4,000 worth of goodies. So you definitely want to be a part of Product Palooza. So don't forget to register, because that closes tomorrow at noon. And once it's closed, it's closed, and you won't be able to, you'll have to wait until the catalog actually comes out to see all those things.
You really do not want to miss it. So register now, because there's some amazing things coming.
Yep. We're excited about this. So anyway, thank you all for giving us a few minutes again out of your lunch hour. And I will see you next Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.